Hi everybody, in this video we're going to be walking through some of your problems for your level 3 worksheet. A lot of the sections are going to be similar, just a little harder than the level 2 or level 1 worksheet. So if I do skip over some of those sections, make sure you go back and get a little recap from the level 1 or level 2 worksheet videos. Okay, starting out here, we have this section that says find the measure of one interior angle in each regular polygon. Now this section is new, starting off at level 3 and also will be in level 4. We talked about how to find the interior angles for polygons in class earlier this week, but let's go over one more time. So remember, if we have a certain number of sides, we said let's set that equal to n. If we found our interior angle total by creating diagonals and creating triangles within our polygon. So if I'm looking for the number of diagonals that gets created, remember that was our n minus 3. Okay, we could create 3 less diagonals than there are sides on my polygon. From there, I know that the amount of triangles that are created is also n minus 2. So the number of sides that a polygon has, if I subtract 2, that's how many triangles will be created by my diagonals. Lastly, I knew that the total angle degrees on the interior of my regular polygon, let's call it A, is going to be 180 times the amount of triangles T that I would have. And so from here, I can really go all the way back to the number of sides, because then I know that T is also equal to n minus 2. Okay, so again, this is going to give us the total interior angle measures. We're going to end up solving for how many is in one interior angle. So let's first start and take a look at number 1. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides. This is a septagon. Okay, so number of sides is 7. To figure out the total degrees inside of this 7-sided polygon, I can go ahead and say that my angle measure will equal 180 times 7 minus 2. Okay, 7 minus 2 gives me 5. So then it's really 180 times 5, which is equal to 900. So again, that is the total amount of degrees within my regular polygon with 7 sides. But let's take a look. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So number of angles do correspond to the number of sides. And I have 7 angles in the septagon. So if I wanted to take my total degrees, 900, and divide by 7, I would find out that the measure of one interior angle to the nearest 10th is 128.6 degrees for number 1. Okay, so hopefully you can go ahead and try it out for number 2. Now here is where I was talking about going back and looking at either level 2 or level 1 worksheet videos, because this section here, solving for x on a quadrilateral and solving for the missing angle on a quadrilateral, is going to be similar to what you see in level 2 worksheet video. So I suggest going there and checking those out if you need help with them. Similarly here, identifying the pairs of angles as corresponding alternating interior, alternating exterior, same side interior, or vertical is also on both your level 1 and level 2 worksheet videos. Finding the measure of the angle indicated in bold So let's take a look here because these are a little harder to see. The bolded angles for number 13 is this one right here. And number 14, it is going to be this angle right here. Now this one is slightly different from our level 2 worksheet video because theirs was just solving for x. I want you to now solve for the entire angle after you solve for x. So it is kind of a two-step process. So let's start with number 13. The two angles that I have information about are side by side on a straight line. So I would say that these are supplementary. Remembering that that just means that if I added these two angle measures together, they will equal a total of 180 degrees. So if I took x plus 72 and I added it to my x plus 122, that will equal 180 degrees. Now I need to combine like terms. I have two x's and then I have a 72 and a 122. So that's going to leave me with 2x plus, I believe this is 194 equals 180 degrees. Now solving for x, I need to isolate. So let me go ahead and move my 194 away from my x's. I'm getting 2x equals a negative 14. And then going ahead and dividing by 2 to get x all by itself. So x is a negative 7, okay? So here is where that level 3 pushes you a little bit more. We're going in with another step here. After you solve for x, we are now going to plug it in to solve for that angle measure specifically. So the angle measure that I want to know is x plus 122. Since I know what x is, I have negative 7 plus 122, which is equal to 115. So that is the degree measure for the bolded angle that I wanted to know. And then you're done for numbers 13 and 14. These two sections here, completing the congruent statement by naming the corresponding angle or side, and also marking the angles and sides of each pair of triangles indicated, is going to be found in your level 2 worksheet video. So I suggest going ahead and looking at those if you need help with these two sections. Our last section that was added on to our level 3 worksheet is right here, to write the statement that indicates that the triangles in each pair are congruent. So these number 19 and 20 is going to be opposite of 17 and 18. 17 and 18, we were given the triangle congruency statement and wanted us to mark up our diagram. Here I have all of the markings, and now I need to give the triangle congruency statement. Okay, so let's go ahead with number 9 here. I'm just going to go off of the number of markings. So where I see a single mark, I think I'm going to start at R. And if I'm talking about this bottom triangle here, I'm looking at going to Q as my second piece, and then looking at S to go to my third piece. Okay. And me numbering these might make a little more sense if you go ahead and check out that level 2 worksheet video. When we look at the top triangle, I am again going to start with R as my number 1 starting place because it still has that one arc mark. E is the one that has 2 arc marks, so that's going to be my second place. And then D has the 3 angle marks, so that's going to be my third place. Okay. So when I write out this triangle congruence, let's start with the bottom triangle. R, Q, S, because that's my 1, 2, 3, is congruent to the triangle R, E, D as my 1, 2, 3 on my top. And that's all you have to do for numbers 19 and 20. If you do need to double check your answers, there are there is an answer key at the end of this worksheet.